Ryan's footsteps echoed through the dense foliage as he ventured deeper into the heart of the ominous forest. The towering trees cast long, twisted shadows that seemed to dance with malicious intent. It was the kind of place that sent shivers down the spines of even the most courageous souls. The case before Ryan was unlike any he had encountered in his long career. A brutal murder had occurred on the outskirts of the forest. A young woman found lifeless, her body left to the mercy of the elements. The local authorities were baffled, unable to make sense of the twisted puzzle before them. Driven by an insatiable desire for justice, Ryan took it upon himself to delve into the secrets hidden within the murky depths of the woods. He meticulously examined the crime scene, meticulously documenting every shred of evidence that lay strewn about. The tiniest detail could be the key to unraveling the enigma that plagued him. As he studied the area, Ryan couldn't shake off the feeling that he was being watched. The forest seemed to have a life of its own, its ancient trees whispering secrets in hushed tones. The wind rustled through the leaves, creating an eerie symphony that heightened his unease. Days turned into weeks, and Ryan tirelessly pursued leads and interrogated potential witnesses. His investigation took him to the nearby village, where he encountered a tapestry of whispered rumors and fearful glances. The villagers spoke of the forest as if it were a malevolent entity, its darkness harboring secrets that were better left undisturbed. Undeterred by the warnings, Ryan pressed forward, determined to unravel the truth. He delved into the victim's past, seeking connections that would lead him closer to the heart of the darkness. Each revelation seemed to deepen the mystery, and with every step, he felt the forest's grip on his soul tightening. Late one evening, as the moon cast an ethereal glow upon the forest, Ryan stumbled upon a hidden trail. It was a narrow path, obscured by undergrowth and shadows, beckoning him to follow its twisted course. Against his better judgment, he plunged into the unknown, his heart pounding with a mixture of anticipation and dread. The path led him deeper into the forest, where the trees loomed like ancient sentinels, their branches clawing at the night sky. The air grew thick with an otherworldly stillness, broken only by the distant hooting of an owl. Ryan's senses were on high alert, every instinct screaming at him to turn back, but his determination propelled him forward. Finally, he stumbled upon a small clearing bathed in moonlight. In the center stood an old, dilapidated cabin, its weathered boards groaning under the weight of time. Ryan approached cautiously, his hand reaching for his holster. He pushed open the creaking door, and what he discovered inside would haunt him for the rest of his days. As Ryan stepped into the decrepit cabin, a wave of musty air assaulted his senses. The dim light filtered through cracked windows, casting eerie shadows on the decaying furniture and worn-out floorboards. The room was filled with an unsettling silence, broken only by the distant hoots of owls. His eyes darted around the room, searching for any clue that could shed light on the murder. And there, amidst the clutter, he spotted it, a weathered journal lying on a dusty table. With trembling hands, he picked it up and began to leaf through its pages, revealing a chronicle of darkness and despair. The journal belonged to a reclusive hermit known as Elias, a man who had chosen to isolate himself within the depths of the forest. His writings told tales of an obsession with death, of twisted rituals and sacrifices to a malevolent deity that he believed resided within the woods. As Ryan immersed himself in the sinister musings of Elias, a horrifying realization dawned upon him. The victim, the young woman whose life had been cut short, was linked to the hermit. She had stumbled upon his twisted world, a world where life and death danced in a macabre embrace. Driven by a mix of fear and determination, Ryan continued to scour the cabin for further evidence. In a hidden compartment beneath the floorboards, he discovered a collection of grisly trophies, locks of hair, blood-stained clothing, and a necklace adorned with a small worn-out charm. Suddenly, a rustling sound echoed from outside the cabin, shattering the silence like shattered glass. Ryan's heart raced as he instinctively reached for his weapon, prepared to face whatever lurked beyond the cabin walls. He cautiously stepped back into the moonlit clearing, only to find himself surrounded by a group of hooded figures. Their eyes glimmered with an unholy light, and their whispers filled the air, swirling with malevolence. "You have trespassed into our domain, detective," a voice hissed from within the depths of the hooded figures. "You have uncovered secrets that were meant to remain buried." Ryan's instincts screamed at him to run, but his determination held firm. He stood tall, meeting their gaze with unwavering resolve. "I will not be silenced. I will bring justice to the innocent lives lost in this forest," he declared, his voice trembling with a mix of defiance and fear. In that moment, a battle of wills commenced, a desperate struggle for survival against the malevolent forces that sought to keep their dark secrets hidden. Ryan fought with every fiber of his being, his training and determination propelling him forward. With each strike and each dodge, he gained ground, forcing the hooded figures to retreat. Finally, he stood alone in the clearing, their whispers fading into the night. He had triumphed, but the price of his victory weighed heavily upon him. As dawn broke and bathed the forest in a fragile light, Ryan emerged from the darkness, clutching the evidence that would expose the horrifying truth. The villagers, initially skeptical of his investigation, were finally confronted with the reality they had long feared. The trial that followed was a grueling affair, revealing the depths of depravity that had festered within the heart of the forest. The hermit Elias was exposed as the twisted orchestrator of the murders, his unholy rituals claiming innocent lives in his quest for power. In the end, justice prevailed, but the scars remained, both physical and emotional. The forest, forever tainted by the darkness that had unfolded within its depths, stood as a haunting reminder of the price paid for uncovering its secrets. And as for Ryan, the seasoned detective with a secret past, he carried the weight of that harrowing investigation with him, forever haunted by the horrors he had witnessed. It was a tale he could never share, a secret he would keep until this final breath. For in the shadows of the forest, some stories are better left untold, locked away in the realm of nightmares, where they can haunt the imagination, but never escape into the light of day. In the labyrinth of ancient trees, shrouded in darkness and mystery, a sinister tale lurked. It tells the story of a hero, Mia, a brave adventurer who eagerly sought to explore the most convoluted and treacherous forest in the world. Mia was a courageous and rebellious soul, ready to defy any dark secrets. The rumors of a curse that hung over the forest only fueled her excitement. Stories were told of travelers who disappeared within the maze, never to return to their loved ones. Yet Mia was convinced that she could unravel the forest's mystery and dispel all superstitions. Armed with a map, compass, and flashlight, she entered the ominous forest. The first few days, she effortlessly navigated through the tangled paths and the maze of ancient trees. But as she ventured deeper, the forest began to change, its routes becoming more convoluted and capricious. Mia noticed peculiar rustlings and whispers behind her, as if someone was watching her. She sensed that the forest observed and tested her, playing its own dangerous game. But Maya refused to surrender, continuing her unwavering journey into the heart of this somber abode. With each step, she felt the labyrinth grow even more perplexing and bewildering. It seemed as though the forest intentionally altered its paths, concealing roads and obstructing Mia's search. She felt the walls of the maze closing in, squeezing the space, and her heart filled with overwhelming fear. Nights in the forest were cold and dreary, shadows elongated and distorted, giving rise to hallucinations in Mia's mind. Sounds, phantoms, and glowing eyes made her panic. She felt as if the dark forces of this place were trying to repel her and force her to turn back. But Maya refused to relent. She was as stubborn as she was brave. In her solitude, she mustered every ounce of determination, defying the ever-changing maze that challenged her at every turn. As Mia pressed forward, the forest unleashed its full arsenal of tricks and illusions. The once familiar paths twisted and distorted, leading her in circles and causing her to doubt her own sanity. Whispers echoed through the trees, whispering half-truths and promises of escape, only to vanish as soon as she approached. Days turned into weeks, and Mia's body grew weak and weary. She had lost track of time. Consumed by the labyrinth's relentless grip, hunger gnawed at her insides, and fatigue threatened to overtake her with each passing moment. But she refused to succumb to despair. Through sheer determination, Mia pressed on, driven by an unyielding desire to uncover the truth. She knew that the heart of the forest held the answers she sought, the key to breaking the curse and escaping its clutches. The forest seemed to sense her determination, intensifying its efforts to break her spirit. One fateful night, as Mia stumbled through the undergrowth, she came upon a clearing bathed in an eerie glow. In the center stood a towering oak, its ancient branches reaching towards the heavens. It emanated a palpable energy, both alluring and foreboding. Driven by an inexplicable force, Mia approached the majestic tree. Its bark felt rough under her fingertips, as if whispering secrets of the past. In a moment of clarity, she realized that the answers she sought were not in escaping the forest, but in understanding its nature. With renewed purpose, Mia closed her eyes, allowing her intuition to guide her. She delved into the depths of her own consciousness, connecting with the primal energy that permeated the forest. It whispered to her, revealing fragments of its history, the pain and suffering that had plagued its grounds. In that moment of revelation, Mia understood that the curse was not an external force, but a manifestation of the forest's own sorrow and torment. It sought solace and release, and Mia held the key to its redemption. With trembling hands, she placed her palms against the ancient oak, channeling her own resilience and compassion. She offered a silent prayer for forgiveness, promising to restore harmony to the forest that had long suffered. As if responding to her plea, the forest began to shift and transform. The labyrinth unraveled, revealing a clear path that led Mia back to the world she had left behind. The dark shadows dissipated, replaced by a gentle sunlight that filtered through the canopy. Mia emerged from the forest, forever changed by her harrowing journey. She shared her story with those who would listen, spreading the message of the forest's plea for understanding and compassion. The curse was lifted, and the forest reclaimed its place as a sanctuary of life and beauty. And Mia, forever bound to the forest's legacy, became its guardian, vowing to protect its secrets and guide others who dared to venture within. The tale of her journey became a cautionary legend, reminding all who heard it of the power of resilience and the transformative nature of compassion.